What's up, everybody? Tree City West here. Today we're going to be talking about the Xen Burner project that I've been working on for the last few months. This video is just going to be a quick introduction on how to get started, what the project does, how it works, and how you can participate and get familiar before we go live on mainnet. So let's get into it. The website is burnxen.com. And before you get started, I recommend taking a look at the GitBook. I spent some time writing this GitBook, just describing the project, the goals that we're trying to accomplish, how it works, what it does. But this is just going to be how to participate. So before we get started, this is the burnxen.com dApp. You'll notice you have some tabs here. You can burn Xen, you can burn XBURN, you can call the swap and burn once it reaches 100%, and you can also swap and actually trade your Xen and your XBURN live on Testnet right now. So that's the main part. We also have the how to burn Xen section. We're going to talk about that in a second, but more importantly, we have the user stats and info. I love this section. It's broken down into the Xen section, the XBURN section, the supply section, and the LP section. So get familiar with this. It's going to be exciting to see how the stats evolve and change as more Xen is burned. And then we have the links to the lit book, the x.com account, the Telegram, where you can come and chat and ask questions. So this is it. This is the Xen Burner dApp. The thing that we're going to need for the testnet is Ethereum on the Sepolia testnet. So why did I pick the Sepolia testnet? Well, first, Xen is actually active on the Sepolia testnet. You can come over to Sepolia and mint Xen and use it just like you would on any of the EVM mainnets. You can get to the Xen testnets by going to testnet.xen.network. I also picked Sepolia because Uniswap is available. If you log into Uniswap, you click the gear in the top right, you can actually enable testnet mode. And once testnet mode is enabled, you can create pools on Sepolia testnet, you can do test swaps, you can do all kinds of stuff just like you would on mainnet. So that's the reason for Sepolia. We have the testnet for Xen, we have the testnet for Uniswap, and we're able to build that because both of those are used by our protocol. So to use this, we're going to have to get some of this ETH on Sepolia. So you can head over to something like QuickNode or Alchemy. I actually have Alchemy loaded up here. I'm already signed in. So I have Alchemy locked and loaded. I'll come over to Rabby. I'll grab my address. I'll put my address in here. I'm not a robot. Now you do have to have an active wallet with some Ethereum in it. So you'll notice that I'm getting this error. You must have a minimum balance of 0.001 ETH on mainnet. I don't have any ETH on this, so they're not going to send me any, but I already have some ETH ready to go. So these are some examples of how you can get the Ethereum testnet. Go to Alchemy, you go to QuickNode, and that's how we get started. So next, once you have your ETH, you can head over to testnet.xen.network. And here I'll click on Sepolia. I'll click on Xen. I'm going to go to Mint. And you can see I have a Mint ready to go. You can see I have 0.02 Sepolia ETH. I have 0 Xen, so I'll go ahead and hit claim on my Mint here. So you'll notice that we are on the custom network in Rabby. You do want to make sure you're on Sepolia. So if you click on the Rabby wallet, you come down to the lower right here, click on custom network. This is how you can switch it over to Sepolia. And now you can see I claimed my Xen, and now I have 1.4 million Xen ready to burn for XBURN. So cool. So I used the Alchemy faucet to get some Sepolia. I used testnet.xen.network to get some Xen, just like I would on mainnet. And the cool thing about the Xen testnet is that the mints don't need to go to full term. So I can just claim the mint and it'll be ready in about an hour. So you'll notice I claim the vanilla mint here. I'm waiting for the transaction to finish. And I set the term for 100 days, but I should be able to claim it in about an hour. So that's just something nice about Testnet. We can get Xen quicker. See, it says claim in less than 1 day, and boom, I'll be able to claim 200,000 Xen in less than an hour. So now back to burnxen.com. We have our testnet ETH, we have our testnet Xen, and now we're ready to burn. So this is what happens when you connect. So in the top right, you have the connect wallet. It's going to ask you to connect your Rabby. Boom, connect it right away. And you can see I have my ETH balance, I have my Xen balance, but I do not have any XBURN yet. Currently, there's 53,000 XBURN minted. You can click on this to go to the Xen Burn contract. It's fully verified, so if you want to pop it into GPT, you can ask about the functions, about how it works, what it does, and that is all live on the ETH testnet. So I recommend before doing this, you do double check in Rabby. You are on the Sepolia testnet, It has the correct balances, so I can see my testnet ETH, my testnet Xen. So how does Xen Burner work? What's the point here? So we're going to burn some Xen, and when we burn the Xen, it's actually going to tax a little bit of it. And that tax Xen is going to go to the XBURN contract, where it's going to burn up over time. So if I click on swap and burn here, you can see people are burning Xen. So right now there's 26,000 Xen burned in the swap and burn pool. When this hits 100, anyone in the community can come here, hit this button. It initiates the swap burn. You get 5% of the Xen that's in the pool. So if there's 1 billion Xen in the pool, you're going to get 5 million Xen, right? 500,000 Xen, something like that. You get 5% of the pool. And when you burn the Xen, you're actually burning it as you. So let me show you how to verify that. Remember, don't trust, always verify. So if you come over to the Xen Burner contract, we're actually going to make our way to the Xen contract. So I'm going to go into one of these. I'm going to click on the Xen crypto contract on Etherscan on the Sepolia testnet. And I'm going to click on the contract. Let me zoom in here so you can see. So I'm going to go to the contract here, and I'm going to click on the read contract. And when I go into the read contract, I don't need any ETH to call these functions, but these are all different functions with information that you can see. And there's going to be a function called user burns, and this will actually show you the amount of Xen that you have burned on this address. So I'm going to go into Rabby, I'm going to grab my address, I'm going to paste it into user burns, and it should say 0 because I've never burned with this address. So it does say 0. So now we can go back to burnxen.com. We're going to go up to the top of the DApp, make sure we're on the Burn Xen tab, and we're ready to go. So here we got 1.4 million Xen, and we're going to burn that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit max here. I'm going to hit approve. It's going to ask me to approve the Xen. You see right now, currently, I have less than 0 approved. So we're going to go ahead and approve it. That allows the contract to spend your Xen, to burn it as you. And now that that's approved, you can see currently approved 1.4 million Xen. I'm going to max select it, and we're going to go ahead and hit burn. So this will actually take my Xen, and it's going to burn it in the Xen contract as me. So we can actually take that into the transaction here. It will take a few seconds to index. I've noticed Sepolia testnet's a little slower, and it's also ETH. ETH is slow. Boom, and just like that. So the transaction was successful. You can see exactly what happened. So I burned 1.4 million, 20% or 280,000 of my Xen went to the contract. The other 1.1 million was burned by me. That was sent to the dead address and completely erased. And then I received just over 100 XBURN for that burn of Xen. So I got my 100 XBURN for burning 1 million Xen. I got my burn records as myself. So how can I prove that? So now I can go back to the Xen crypto contract, and currently it previously said I burned 0. So now if I query this again, boom, now I have my 1 million Xen that I just burned in the XBURN contract. It's credited to my address, and I'm all set. So now if I go look at my Rabby wallet, I go into the custom network, I'm going to paste the contract address in here, and boom, now I have my 112 Xen Burn balance. I'm going to go ahead and add this token. And now you can see on my on the custom network here on Sepolia, I have my ETH, and now we're ready to go. So that's cool. So now that I have some XBURN, I can decide what to do with it. I'm really hoping people will add it to the liquidity pools. So now what I can do is I can actually go to Uniswap. And I'm going to come in here. I'm going to click on the gear, make sure I'm in the testnet mode. And then I'm going to go to pool. And I'm going to view the positions here, and I'm going to paste that contract address in there. And here you can see the XBURN. It shows up in the Uniswap on the Sepolia testnet. And now I can actually go to pool, and I can create a position. So actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down to pools, and I'm going to find a pool to add liquidity to. I can come down to pools here. You can see there's currently 2 pools. There's the XBURN ETH pool, and then there's the Xen XBURN pool. And I'm excited to see what happens on mainnet, because the more pools we can create that liquidity effect where things start pumping and it drags everything up with it. But will it be enough to drag CBXen up with it? That's going to be the main thing. So what I can do is I can actually add some LP. So I'm going to open up this XBURN ETH. I'm going to take a look at the pool. I can go to the top right here, add liquidity. I'll continue. I'm going to add my 100 XBURN with the recommended amount. It is V2, so it's automatically paired 1-to-1. I'm essentially pairing 100 XBURN with $7 of ETH. And now I'm adding it to the liquidity pool. How cool is that? So now I've burned my Xen, I received my XBURN, and now I've added it to the liquidity pool. So now if I come back here, back to burnxen.com, I come down to the stats. Now I heard that transaction just finished in the background. So if I refresh, I connect my wallet, that XBURN balance should be 0. Now if I go back, boom, you can see my liquidity position here. My 112 XBURN, my little bit of ETH, gave me a little LP pool token. And now if I come back to burnxen.com, you can see the stats updated. My Xen balance is 0 because I burned it. My XBURN balance is 0 because I added it to LP. And that was all successful. So great. So we've burned Xen, we've added LP, and now we can come over to the meat and potatoes of Xen Burner, which is this swap and burn. And the general idea here is that whole liquidity web effect. So when Xen Burner is launched, it actually creates an LP pool. That LP pool is made up of an initial seeding of XBURN and Xen. When people burn their Xen, a portion of that is taxed, and it's actually going to the contract here. So I can actually visit the Xen Burn contract here, and I can look at it, and I can see, oh wow, there's 300,000 Xen in the contract. So I can go back to the website, click on the swap and burn. We're actually at 300% of the accumulation process. So now anybody can call this swap and burn. So now when I call this, you'll notice I have 0 Xen, but I'm going to get 5% of this 300,000 Xen. So if I go ahead and hit swap and burn, it's going to take that Xen that is in this pool and it's going to buy XBURN. And when that XBURN is received, it burns it instantly. So not only are we adding Xen to the liquidity pool, we're removing XBURN tokens from circulation. So what does that look like? If I go pull up Rabby here, I go find the transaction. We'll go to custom network. We can see our custom network transactions. And yeah, so here is the swap Xen for XBURN. So it actually took that 200,000 Xen crypto that was in the contract, and it burned it. It sent me 15,000 for my reward, which is the 5% of 300,000. And then it also looks like it did some liquidity rewards. So the liquidity pools got about 1 XBURN each, which we should be able to see if we go back to Uniswap. If I refresh this, I should be able to see some of that reward. But now, notice the Xen crypto is gone. There's no more Xen in the contract. And that actually turns into a huge green candle on the XBURN because we bought XBURN and we burned it. So the act of buying XBURN out of the XBURN Xen pool pumps it and creates a big green candle. And then the liquidity bots will come and they'll do the arbitrage thing and start buying up all the XBURN. The burn makes the supply less, so things will pump even more. And it's really a beautiful mechanism. So that's that. I mean, that's pretty much how it works. And now what I can do, so I have this 15,000 Xen. Mind you, a couple seconds ago that said 0, but since I called the swap and burn, not only did I burn Xen, but I swap and burned, which gave me an extra 15,000 Xen, that 5% reward. Now I can take that over to the swap XBURN. And this is actually a DEX. This is a full-fledged DEX. So I can come over here. I can max out my Xen. That'll be worth 0.05 XBURN. I can adjust my slippage here, and I'll go ahead and swap. And if this works, we should see my Xen balance go to 0 and my XBURN balance go to 0.05. So the swap is pending. We'll go ahead and pull up Rabby. We'll look at the unknown transaction over on the testnet, and we'll wait for this to finish. All right, and it finished. So it actually used the Uniswap pool. It swapped our 15,000 Xen for 0.05 XBURN. Now I have no Xen. I have 0.05 XBURN. It rounded up. And now I can go burn my XBURN. So this does absolutely nothing at the moment. You know, you can go in here, you can approve your XBURN for burning, and then you can burn it. It doesn't do anything. And this is one of the things that I'm kind of testing. So I do think it would be cool to have a reason to burn your XBURN, whether it's a new token. We may also have a staking so you can lock it up. But as of right now, you're simply burning it just to remove it from existence. So you can either add it to LP, you can burn it to destroy it. You can swap it for Xen and then start the whole process over again. But that's pretty much the whole thing. That's the whole thing. So I started with some Xen. I turned it into XBURN. I added it to the liquidity on Uniswap. I swap and burned, which gave me a little more Xen. I turned that Xen back into XBURN, and then I burned that XBURN. So that's pretty much everything this dApp can do. And I'm really excited to see what are the dynamics going to be. How is this going to affect Xen? Is there going to be enough Xen burning? Is it going to be worth it to burn it to create XBURN? Is XBURN going to be a rare token, which pumps the price up even more? Or is it going to be everybody's minting Xen so the XBURN supply explodes and we end up with all these cool liquidity pools fighting over liquidity? So this is the intro. This is the soft launch. This is using Uniswap v2. I do want to learn about v4. I do want to come up with a staking mechanism for XBURN. I do want to figure out a liquidity seeding, whether it's like an NFT project. I was thinking maybe we create 100 NFTs. You burn your Xen, half goes to burn, half goes to seeding the initial LP. We might do something like that. I think that might be fun. You know, I have this image of like the Xen Burn Nights, like a subsection of the Xen Nights. Like that'd be fun. But it's all brainstorming. So I'm shooting for a launch in Q2, possibly May, June. That would be nice. But as of right now, we could launch this on CBZen and start burning Xen, but I do want to come up with a more complete product. I want to build this out. But for now, if you could, check out the GitBook, come join the Telegram, give a follow on Twitter, get that Testnet ETH, get that Testnet Xen, and come over and play. So we're trying to burn some Xen here. As always, I appreciate your time. My name is Tree City West. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys stay Xen. Burn more Xen at burnxen.com. Peace.